Our next inductee is former wrestling student athlete from Maple Heights, Ohio, Tom Milkovich.
Milkovich is a student of the sport, demonstrating that hard work yields high dividends. Milkovich's hard work paid off to the tune of being a national champion as a junior in 1972 at 142 pounds, along with being a four-time Big Ten tournament champion, a feat so rare that in the history of Big Ten wrestling, Milkovich was only the third wrestler to accomplish that feat at the time, and today, only 16 wrestlers have won 4 Big Ten titles. Prior to his 4th consecutive championship crown in 1973, no one had been a 4-time winner since 1950. No one was again until 1981. Even more impressive and rare, Milkovich was undefeated in conference matches, not just 1 or 2 of his years as a Spartan, or even 3, but all 4 years, becoming the first ever Big Ten wrestler to go through conference competition completely unblemished. On the eve of the opening day of the Big Ten Championships his senior season, Milkovich broke his collarbone at practice. He figured out how to not just wrestle that way, but wrestle successfully as he won the Big Ten title and went on to the NCAA tournament, reaching the semifinals. Milkovich ended his career with an overall record of 93-7-1 with 11 pins. In 1973, he won his 4th Big Ten title, helping him earn the Big Ten Conference's Most Outstanding Wrestler award. Milkovich started coaching wrestling after his own wrestling career came to a close. And like his father, he became a successful wrestling coach and has coached on some level every year since leaving MSU after graduating in 1974 with a business degree. Today, he is the head coach at Walsh Jesuit High School in Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio. Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Milkovich.
Well, it's good to be a Spartan, isn't it? When they announced that I was in the hall, of course, I was elated and very excited about it. And sports writer called me up and asked me what was my proudest moment here at Michigan State University. And without a second delay, I had to admit that watching my little brother Pat win a national championship at the age of 17 years old, not even a year out of high school, was such a thrill for me, and it was my proudest moment for 2 reasons. Number one, he was only 17 years old. And number 2, I'm the one that got him here. He was going to go to a couple schools in Ohio, and I said, Pat, come up to Michigan State. By mid-season, maybe Grady can find some scholarship for you. We'll put you on scholarship, because he was a walk-on. But imagine being a 17-year-old kid, and you win a national championship. That's really something. I came from a wonderful family. My mom and dad were just wonderful people, and they raised 6 kids. And all my brothers and sisters are outstanding in so many ways. My brother Mike and Dan, my older brothers, I couldn't have asked to have better role models. They are my best friends and have helped me mold and guide me all my life. They are talented, smart, generous, and kind, and for sure they are great athletes in their own right. And they always took time to help me and show me the many techniques that made me a better wrestler and also a better person. But people I'd also like to thank while I was here at Michigan State, of course, Grady Penninger, who recruited me here. You see, I was going to go to U of M, the school down the road. I know. And Grady called me up the last minute and said, why don't you come up and see Michigan State? Well, I came up here and I just fell in love with the school, the people, the wrestlers I met. It's a great, great institution. And I'm very happy that Grady made that phone call to me and I took him up on it. I'd also like to thank Roger Chandler, because he called me right away when I was elected. He was the first phone call, and it showed me a lot of class that he has. And I think he's going to do just fine with your wrestling program up here. I'd like to also thank Charlene Anthony, who has been my best cheerleader and friend and supporter. She teaches me and inspires me to be a better person at all times. Smart, wonderful, warm personality, and wisdom beyond her years, although she will not let me know what her years are. She refrains from, I don't know what that is with women, but they do that. I also like to acknowledge some of my teammates that are here in attendance. Randy Miller, a great coach in his own right, and a great friend. Don Beam and Gary Bissell, who I wrestled with. My friends and alumni from Maple Heights, Frank Romano and Derek Beckany. I always looked up to both of them. Frank was a coach at Notre Dame College and won 5 national championships. And he came from my high school that my father coached. And I can't tell you how pleased and excited I was to see some of my old friends here, Gary Ganakis and Brian Breslin. They used to inspire me because I'd go to the basketball games, and Gary was this little guy, and he could dribble up and down the court like crazy and feed off to Breslin and this other gentleman over here. I mean, it was just so much fun to watch them. And they were my great friends, and I loved them dearly. Also, Brad Van Pelt, Joe DeLamelere, and Steve Garvey, they also helped inspire me to achieve what I achieved. And I have some advice for the student athletes in attendance here. First of all, congratulations because you're at sports and Michigan State University. But second, success in life has a direct relation to the lessons you will learn in sports. And it's so true. But learn how to embrace your practice session. If you ever truly want to be great, you've got to embrace your practice. So often I would hear people say, oh, I hate it. I got to go to practice. They work me so hard. I could not wait to get to practice because that's what makes you as an individual. And it gets you ready for the competitions. I've always told my athletes there's 2 things that have to happen in order for them to be successful in sports. 1, coaches have to coach. And number 2, athletes have to want to be coached. You've got to want to be coached in order to be great. 5th, be humble and don't boast about yourself. This will minimize the pressure you put on yourself to win. When you tell everybody how great you are, you put a lot of pressure on yourself, so don't do it. Also, it's important, don't ever forget to thank the people that have helped you and supported you. And also get to know some of the other athletes in the other sports. You'll be able to draw from their strength and some of their ideas. It's a great thing to do. 7, conduct yourself with class on and off the playing fields and the gymnasiums. People will observe you because you are an athlete, so do the right things with your conduct. Remember, the things you do, both good and bad, are going to follow you. And you represent this university, you represent your coaches, your teams, and your family. So conduct yourself with class at all times. I wish to thank and congratulate those other outstanding athletes being honored here tonight. They surely are impressive in their fields. And thank you, Julie Burgess, for the help in putting this thing together. And last of all, I had this in my notes. I saw Coach Izzo, and I just wanted to tell you, Tom Izzo, how lucky you are to have this man coaching. He produces good and competitive teams year in and year out. And I've been watching him for years and years, and he is truly a gifted, gifted coach. You know, I could play basketball for him, and I never even played basketball, but I could play for that man. Thank you so much.